Studios. It is Monday, which means Chamber Talk today. Mendy in the studios from Fairfield Area Chamber of Commerce. How was your weekend?
It was interesting. There was so much rain on the way here, and it rained overnight. I was wakened by thunder in the middle of the night, which was terrible. But it's not snow.
Yeah, I asked earlier. I haven't got a rain gauge out yet, and I don't know if it does. But I don't think we got quite as much rain as we were maybe expecting going into the weekend. But anyway,
we got quite a bit up my way.
Did you really? Real quickly, a couple of items from this week's calendar. Or I want to go back again. The rescheduled business after hours on Thursday. How was that?
It was wonderful. It looked very well attended. I was at a conference all day learning from other chamber people how to be a better chamber person. But the pictures looked great. I went over and saw her the day before. It's a wonderful store with a lot of different... it's very different. You can get some permanent jewelry. You can go make some candles. There's home decor, there's clothing, food items. It's just a great little store, and it'll have all kinds of different things, and she'll change out what she has based on what's trending and what's new and popular.
So now our next business after hours will be coming up. Is it actually on the 17th of March?
I think it's going to be on Friday. I have to confirm with John. I have him scheduled for Chamber Talk, but he didn't answer the question. But I assume it will be on Friday because last year it was, and it was a rough Saturday morning for the legislative forum for old Mendy.
So we're talking Friday the 18th?
Yes. And
we're talking about the world famous Morrissey Law
yes.
St. Patty's Day Irish blowout.
Come try all the Irish whiskeys, all of them.
The lamb stew.
Yes.
The imported beers.
It's just wonderful. And he's such a wonderful person. I could sit and listen to him talk for ages. Yeah. I just adore him.
So anyway, that's on the 18th, tentatively scheduled for the 18th of March,
yes.
The next business after hours. And of course, I want to remind you, sign up for the week that will be. No? Chamber chatter.
Yay!
Email the chamber at fairfieldiowa.com. Get on the email list. You too can have an email in your mailbox every Monday morning in the 8 o'clock hour, sort of giving you an overview of the week ahead. And of course, you can always check out the Chamber of Commerce website for the calendar events, fairfieldiowa.com. You have a guest today in the studio, so I'll let you take over.
Thanks, Steve. Good morning, Alecs Mikunas.
Good morning.
You are now officially the library director.
That's right. I stepped into the new role in July of last summer, and I feel that enough time has passed that I've completed a number of really large kind of data collection projects for the state, and
wow.
I've attended a number of conferences even since I've been director. So I'm feeling really fired up, and there's so much exciting news to share about the library.
And now you are officially the director. You got a little time under your belt, so it's not that I don't know what I'm doing. You got it all figured out. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you're a Leadership Fairfield alum, so
that's right.
Leadership Fairfield, go Leadership.
Yes, we're going to definitely plan on sending one of our staff members to Leadership Fairfield. You're currently in Leadership Fairfield session right now, aren't you?
Only a couple more months left.
Okay.
The kids are getting excited. You know those last few that waited to the last minute to do their volunteer work? I've been sending them to you or to Carnegie. Go talk to Alecs.
Great.
He'll help
Okay.
you.
No, we have some volunteer projects that we could really use some help. Actually, we're doing a digital inventory of the whole library. So we recently got some through the generous donations of our community members, we were able to purchase some really nice tablets and some Bluetooth scanners, and so we're going through the stacks and we're just scanning every single item in the collection. And it's been quite a while since this has been done, so we're planning on doing it again 6 months from now, just to track, just to make sure that everything is where it's supposed to be. It's so important.
So is that something that somebody could then go online and search through that database, or is it just more for inventory purposes?
It's just for us, yeah.
Yeah.
It's to make sure that the collection is an accurate representation of what's on the shelves.
Yes, very
and
nice.
The catalog that anybody can access online.
Well, and you have a new kids librarian. We had her in. It sounds like she's doing fabulous, and she had big shoes to fill. You were very adventurous in your kids' days.
Yeah, well, Sarah, she probably shared she has about 10 years experience volunteering as a storytime reader at the Ottumwa Public Library. So she came to us with so much experience in that area. And then, she also had studied fine art at Iowa State University. So she's an extremely creative, talented artist. And I just love watching the things that she creates together with the kids, and can't wait to see what she does next.
So what do you see for your vision for the library? What do we have in the future for the library?
Yeah, well, just my vision is really to make the library more and more accessible to our community members. And I really want to promote more of our programs and resources to our rural residents in Jefferson County. And I really want to learn more about their needs and develop programs specifically for them, and get electronic resources that they can access from home if they have internet, and other equipment and resources as well. And we're already we're collaborating more with ISU Extension Office.
Yep.
Because Sarah Martindale, our children's librarian, formerly was a youth coordinator for that outreach office in Mahaska County.
Yeah, very nice. So do you have some new programs coming up?
Well, as far as programs go, we have a couple of things that are pretty exciting coming up. I'm mostly excited about the resources, and I'll share about that in a moment. But we have a special children's event coming up on Friday, March 17th at 2 p.m. The children's event is Can You Trap a Leprechaun?
Oh my gosh, that sounds fun.
Celebrating St. Patrick's Day with our children's librarian by building a leprechaun trap. Participants will use the engineering design process and an assortment of supplies to create their own innovative leprechaun trap that they can take home to try their luck at catching those tricky fairies. Supplies will be available in the meeting room, and participants can work at their own pace.
I love that. Hayden did a leprechaun trap last year at school, and they have some pretty big shenanigans at our house. The leprechauns are shenanigans at our house.
Oh.
So tell me about what resources we have at the library that people may not know about.
Yeah, well, some of these things are in the works, but a number of them will actually be ready by the end of the week and accessible. You can look at the Southeast Iowa Union for more details in terms of when some of these resources go live.
Nice.
But I'm very excited to share that the Fairfield Public Library is now going to be offering free online access to the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal to all Fairfield residents.
That's awesome!
All residents of contracting towns. This is huge. I mean,
Absolutely.
There's kind of like a shortage of access to news, at least newspaper news, I would say, especially as we've seen more and more newspapers just drop their print publication completely. A number of months ago, to my knowledge, the New York Times actually stopped delivering print to Fairfield, and they're gradually dropping print across the country. So I think this is very important. In addition to those two newspapers, we are also going to begin offering online access at home and at the library to consumerreports.org. It's really your one-stop shop for the best reviews, non-biased reviews of those really important consumer devices and other items that we want to learn more about before we make an investment. And when Consumer Reports went out of print a few years ago, that was the magazine that people have most continued to request and ask, isn't it possible we can get something? We need that kind of resource. So this is really going to be great, and it'll be really nice too for our staff members who can use this resource when people just call in and maybe need some recommendations. And then the final thing I want to share about the e-resources is the library, probably by the end of the week, is going to have on-site access to Ancestry.com Library Edition.
Oh.
And this is nearly identical to the individual purchase version of Ancestry.com, and it is such an amazing, powerful resource.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Many people have been requesting this. And
genealogy is really popular in this area.
Yeah, and I hope it gets more popular too. And I'm also hoping that this resource, as well as maybe some other newspaper resources that we get, will help strengthen our relationship with the Carnegie Historical Museum.
Absolutely. Well, I'm so proud of you. Look at you doing all this stuff. So when people request things, do you try to see if you can make it available? Is that kind of how this worked out? Because
definitely.
You've got a lot of people that are requesting items.
Yeah. I think there was kind of like a bug in my ear about Consumer Reports and Ancestry.com. And then as far as the newspapers go, I've been doing a lot of work lately just looking at what are other libraries doing. I don't have to reinvent the wheel all the time.
Yes.
And really the trend is to make this transition to online newspaper access. Like libraries like Burlington are definitely an inspiration to me. Ottumwa. So, we have a really important legacy here with Fairfield Public Library in our town. I think most people know that Fairfield Public Library was the first Carnegie Library outside of Philadelphia, and Philadelphia was the first state to have Carnegie libraries. Prior to that time, Andrew Carnegie was just building libraries in Scotland, where he came from.
Wow.
And the thing too was Andrew Carnegie, as he funded the construction and establishment of public libraries, they were really kind of shifting like the paradigm. Prior to Carnegie funding the construction of public libraries, libraries they were membership based, and they were usually for more educated elites in the community and people who wanted to read more scholarly materials. And then as the public libraries expanded across the country, they became more of a meeting place for just regular folks in the community to gather and find those things that they most enjoyed. Wonderful.
And you've gone fee free.
That's right. I'm starting January 1st. We became fine free, and we, there have been some concerns in the community, like, oh no, the books aren't going to come back, or that, those sorts of things, and it's completely understandable. But no need to worry. We're running reports on a weekly basis, and we can already see that there's nothing to indicate right now that there's going to be any kind of significant loss of books. Nothing really too different from things as they were before. And one thing that we're doing on a daily basis is we run reports of all the items that have holds on them, and we see if any of those items with holds on them are currently out and are overdue. When we see that, we call those people that have the overdue item and we ask, would you please return this item? It has a hold on it, and they usually come back right away.
Very nice. Well, Steve, have you been to the library lately? It's pretty fabulous over there.
Of course. I was going to ask a couple of questions here.
Yes. Sure.
Do you have an idea what the breakdown is from physical checkout to digital checkout?
Ooh, I think it's. I don't think we would even compare them. But I will just say that there is a lot of use of the e-resources, and especially with Libby. So Libby is an app that you can get on your smart device or your computer, and basically it's kind of like the bridge between you and this consortium of public libraries in Iowa that collectively purchase e-books and e-audiobooks, and then through the Libby app you can access all those resources.
Nice.
Literally thousands and thousands of books and e-audiobooks that you can access right on your smartphone or computer. It's really, really easy to get that Libby app downloaded on your device as well. Just go to the Fairfield Public Library's website, and right there on the landing page, you'll see the Libby logo. Click there and it'll take you to the page to register. It's an incredible resource.
You mentioned outreach to some of the outlying areas. What is the relationship between the Fairfield Public Library and, say, the library in Batavia or Packwood?
Yeah, there isn't much outreach between different public libraries in the region, but there is quite a bit of outreach between our children's librarian and different schools in the community, especially the preschools and the childcare facilities. In addition to that, I'm working on. I'm setting a kind of a challenging but realistic goal of 10 outreach programs to events and organizations for adults. And I want to collaborate more with the Chamber of Commerce as well, because we have several e-resources that will be really useful to our business owners. And I'm not sure if they're taking advantage of all these yet, but that's going to be wonderful.
Is the volunteer center still a thing at the library?
Yes, and actually, the volunteer center sign was taken down for a number of years to put up a COVID-19 shield, one of those plexiglass things. But actually, the streets department this week is taking that down finally and hanging back up the volunteer center sign.
Yay,
so that's a really
Joe.
exciting thing. Yeah.
Thanks, Joe.
And there are just so many. I love those leaders at the Fairfield Volunteer Center. And one thing I want to share is that a lot of our seniors in particular, they really want to volunteer at the library. And we're working on developing a really kind of a comprehensive list of volunteer activities that people can do at the library. Helping us with our digital inventory, which is super easy, would be one amazing way you could help volunteer. And that's going to be happening through this week, and then we're going to do it again 6 months from now. So please reach out to the Fairfield Public Library with all of your volunteer time, and we would love to work together with you. Thank you.
Absolutely. So reach out to my friend Alex at the library if you have a suggestion or if you want to come help. He can find you stuff to do. Thanks for coming today. I'm so glad to see you.
Thanks for having me. It was great to see you too.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you. Alex mentioned the Carnegie Library.
Yes.
And, of course, that building, I think, is this year celebrating its 130th anniversary, birthday being in existence. And you'll start seeing a lot of work over around the Carnegie Museum, Carnegie Library.
Every time I go in there, there's something new, and I'm there pretty regularly.
Well, I bring it up because there's a trivia night this Saturday night, March 4th at the Walton Club, $10 per person, 4 to 6 person teams. If you want more information, contact Jake over at the museum, 472-6343. And again, you can help raise funds to preserve what was the first Carnegie Carnegie Library outside the state of Pennsylvania. It's 5 minutes for the top of the hour. Look at markets just around the corner here on 1570 KMCD.